This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
You are listening to Lucha Afterground.
Hey, everybody. Wow. I can't believe we're back. How long has it been?
4 months? 5 months?
Has it been almost 6 months?
It's been a long time.
I can't remember a single thing about Lucha Underground.
Nope.
I can remember that there is, I remember Dario Cueto.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember a mythical dragon of who only wore brown.
No, we're not getting into that right away, dude. Come on. You can't throw that at me right out of the gate. Okay, so we're back after an extended hiatus.
Yeah, this is Max.
My name is Max.
My name is Travis. Hi, guys.
Here we are, back like clockwork, summoned from the ether to talk about Lucha Underground. We are the premier.
That's right.
Lucha Underground after show.
That's right.
We are coming to you now without having actually seen Lucha Underground Season 3, Episode 20.
Yeah, that's right, because we had a really nice suggestion from our dear friend Bobby C. I've decided to start naming him that. Mr. Robert Charlton, our biggest fan, to kind of do a bit of a recap on where things are. And what's good about this is we've kind of discussed a little bit before is during the break we have done extensive reporting and research and just reviewing of anything Lucha Underground. And by that I mean I think I watched about 3 minutes on when it went on Netflix. That was it. That was about it. And I know that Cage and Melissa back on
together.
again.
Back together. That is very true. Somehow I also know that. Why do I know that? I don't know.
Because it's sickening. Because they're just sickening on social media.
Well, you know what's up with Cage and I think they came together. They somehow used there's some guy in AAA or CMLL. I'm not sure what. That's doing like a pro-Trump gimmick.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's getting all this media attention from CNN,
yes,
Fox News, all this stuff. And Brian Cage and Melissa Santos are both extremely upset about it because Cage did it first.
Yeah.
Cage did it first.
To no fanfare, yeah.
To no fanfare. So somehow that is that injustice has brought them back together. It's so weird.
Yeah. I did see that like she's starting to kind of work as a pseudo wrestler / valet in some things, and I don't know. I haven't seen any of the footage, but
is she still ring-announcing for PWG?
I don't know.
Nah, we gotta get Kevin back in here. We got somebody wake him up from his coma. Okay, so
where were we
in this? I mean,
the one thing, like what I have out in front of me right now is Lucha Underground did put out this nice little graphic here of Dario Cueto's Web of Corruption that kind of links everybody. Kind of looks like Russiagate. You know what I mean? This thing. I got Councilman Delgado, who's attached to obviously to Dario, who's and also Captain Vasquez. So like they're both talking to him. So he's the guy who's really kind of playing everybody. But he's answering into the mystery Dr. Claw guy, who may or may not be time traveling Cage.
That's right. That would be amazing.
I know.
I forgot about that.
Just to make this even, I know I forgot about everything until I start kind of going over everything. I could, like we were talking before, I had completely forgotten about Veneno.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a couple of characters at you, and you tell me where they're at.
Okay.
Mr. Cisco
is deceased.
Oh, that's right. Oh, he is deceased from way before, right?
Yeah, now he is. Okay. No, now he is one of the Rabbit Tribe, right? Name
right.
I cannot recall.
This is right. This is, of course. What about Killshot?
Who is he still involved with that feud with AR Fox?
I think it's still ongoing.
I think so. I think so. I don't think it got finished. That got it wrapped up.
And where Cage has the gauntlet and is superhuman at this moment. What about where's Taya at this moment?
She was. I don't think she was wrestling yet.
She
think she was still hurt.
She'd been injured.
Yeah. Still kind of attached to Mundo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole Worldwide Underground are still a unit. Mundo, Jack Evans, Darewolf. What about where's Pentagon Jr. right now?
Pentagon Dark.
Is
who? Oh, he's in. Didn't he just? Has anything happened with him and the Black Lotus Triad? I think that was the last thing I remember, where he fought the 3 girls and they broke his arm. Had there been anything developed with him since then?
I don't think so. We definitely didn't have any Black Lotus Tribe after that.
No. I wonder how many more matches we're going to get out of those girls. Because if there's a season 4, they're not going to be
there because most of them are in either. Well, one of them is going to retire, and the other 2 are in going to WWE. Although you never know. Yeah, I like to think we can't already get into a WWE tangent.
No,
but I think I would not be surprised because WWE is going to do this women's tournament.
Yeah,
and I think that I wouldn't be surprised if one of those girls, either Shirai or
Hitokiri.
Well, no, that's the character that Shirai played. Damn,
she drops the amazing elbow, the best elbow in wrestling right now.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But one like people were talking that like Zack Sabre Jr. was going to be going to WWE, but he was just there just for the one tournament, and then he went off and did his own thing. So like they might just be like moonlighting a little bit.
Maybe I don't think the opportunities are out there as much for a female wrestler. In today's
that is
world.
a fact.
Yep.
That is a fact. That's a sad fact.
Yep.
That's a sad fact. Anyways, that's a tangent. Let's pull it back a little bit. So, where's Prince Puma right now?
He is still.
He had come back with a dark.
With a dark, yeah. So he's kind of got Vampiro kind of pulling his strings. He's talking a lot more. I'm trying to remember. Oh, he was involved with Pentagon Dark. Or no, remember he said he had to kill Muertes? But he did. And then he wants to get the Pentagon.
And is Muertes dead right now?
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
I think he's come back. Isn't he?
It's so convoluted.
He's at death 28. So he has 972 to go.
Exactly. This is poignant. Where is Johnny Mundo and the Mack?
They are about to have an all-night long match.
Which, I mean, I'm excited to see this. I mean, I love the Mack.
We all do.
I love Johnny Mundo.
Best belly button in the biz.
Gross. I love Johnny Mundo. But is this an appropriate episode to come back to? I mean, I feel like...
Well, let's see what the next 2 or 3 are like.
But I mean, no. We can't see what the next 2 or 3 are like. Don't you... Okay, I was thinking about this earlier today. Wouldn't it be more appropriate to make this a 2-hour special and have the first hour be recap? Just like a highlight reel, like a 2-hour, like a 1-hour highlight reel of like, this is everything that's happened this season. Here's some highlights. These are all the characters.
Even
all build
30 minutes before. You don't need a full hour for that.
Yeah. Instead, none of that.
Yeah. No.
It's just going to be just like as if nothing had ever changed.
No, and that's a whole discussion about which many people have talked about is how poorly they push their product and how just getting new viewers and stuff. I think in fact I know Netflix did something for them because our Twitter followers exploded.
No way.
Now we got probably about 40 or 50 more.
Shit.
Yeah. I think some of them are bots. Some of them are bots. But there are a lot of like real and from like all over the place.
Good.
So I think that I can tell from just based on us that did draw up some interest. And I did hear from people I hadn't heard from in a long time. I was like, dude, have you watched Lucha Underground? Have you seen this show? I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, I do.
Ain't you heard of the Place to Be Nation, boy?
Yeah, exactly. All right,
I get
sure.
I get kind of Flava Flav when I get arrogant. Yep. Yeah, I knew it when I said it.
Okay, so anything else we want to say? We're gonna turn off the mics here in a moment. We're gonna go watch the episode. Then we'll come back and we'll do our typical afterground thing. Anything else we want to?
I think we've stuck with this show. A lot of people have not stuck with this show. A lot of people have given up on this show. And there was a clear, like you can feel it in the air, how different. Remember how excited we were for the premiere of season two?
Yeah.
And where we are right now. And now,
I know.
And let's just let's see where this goes. I'm just, we'll stick with it. We've said we'll stick with it. I mean, not just because it's we've got a job to do now, but
I can feel it, man. Like I remember at the beginning of season 2, I was amped.
Yeah.
I was so amped. I thought this was it was the future of wrestling, and I think a lot of people thought the same thing. And people were excited to see where it was going to go, and I can't help but feel like over the next season and a half, it began the direction began to waver a little bit. And it didn't seem like there was as much of a
long-term plan.
Yeah, a plan or a vision behind it. I really hope there's some very, very weird variables out there in this show, like creatively. Lorenzo Lamas, the Gauntlet, the Black Lotus Tribe. Triad, thank you. There's all these very weird things out there, and there's still so much potential. And I think that is one of the keys. I think that's one of the keys to good wrestling storytelling is like maintaining the sense of potential.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, for sure.
And so that is still there. I just don't
have confidence in their creative decisions as much.
I just don't know. That's not necessarily true. I think that there will be. What I worry about is that there's no maestro. There's no person behind the scenes saying this is where we're going. We're building towards this. We are. This is going to end with this amazing moment. People will live, people will die, things will change. That was the most amazing thing about the transition between season 1 and season 2 was that at the end of season 1, Dario was no longer in control. Yeah. And at the beginning of season 2, it was Mil and Katrina. Yeah. And it was like a new landscape. Yep. And nobody knew what that meant. And if there's no stakes, right? The longer you stretch stuff out, the less important the stakes are. So anyways, I hope that for these next 20 episodes,
that's right. Holy shit.
The next 4 months of my life.
And he's getting married one of those weekends.
5 months of my life. That we will get some stakes. Yeah. Because I tell you what, if this does not get me charged and excited, I can't do this for another season. I just can't.
I know, buddy. I know.
I can't.
I know. Well, there will be highs. There will be lows. I think we can count on that. Believers.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. I've been watching the Best of the Super Juniors, and the Best of Super Juniors has been fantastic. I mean, that's high stakes shit from beginning to end.
I heard Liger finally won.
Oh, don't tell me! Don't spoilers.
Sorry.
I assumed it would happen. Don't tell me against it. Anyways, let's turn off the mics. Let's take a break here. Would this be a good time to do a sponsorship or to do a message from our place to be nation?
Because then we can just whip because it's just the one match. So
yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Okay, great. So we are going to turn off the mics. We're going to go check out the episode. We'll be back in 2 minutes. For now, here's a message from Place to Be Nation.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Voice of Ring of Honor's Kevin Kelly here. I just want to make sure you're all subscribed to all of our great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. Now, it's really easy to do. Just head to iTunes or your preferred podcatcher app today and search for and subscribe to the Place to Be Nation Wrestling feed, Place to Be Nation Pop feed, Pro Wrestling Only feed, and of course, the Kevin Kelly Show feed, which includes the full archives of my podcast. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. And of course, as always, enjoy all the great action of Ring of Honor Wrestling and everything presented to you on PlaceToBeNation.com.
Place to Be Nation's JT Rozzero here, and I want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlaceToBeNation.com, and we offer them to you across 2 great feeds. On the Place to Be Nation Wrestling feed, you can check out Scott Criscolo and me on the Mothership, the Place to Be podcast, with our famous Vintage Vault pay-per-view reviews. PTBN also covers current-day wrestling with the smash hit clotheslines and headlines, our steady veteran main event, and the beloved monthly pay-per-view reaction shows with immediate feedback on all pro wrestling super shows. Relive wrestling's past with our monthly pay-per-view rewind series led by Ben Morse, the always contentious Dangerous Alliance podcast, and Survey Says, a fun look back at the good, bad, and ugly of WCW. On our very popular Place to Be Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, Rank and File, NBA Team, Lucha Undead, Geek and Sassy, and a veritable podcast heaven for comic fans with hard-traveling fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversation, and Imaginary Stories. Subscribe to both of those feeds on iTunes and rate and leave feedback for us as well. All of these shows, plus others, available at PlaceToBeNation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus tournaments and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlaceToBeNation.com/Amazon when doing your online shopping, and download our free Place to Be Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on the right-hand side of our site. We also want to thank our friends at Bonehead's Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, TheHistoryOfWrestling.com, and Scott Keats' Blog of Doom. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlaceToBeNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
The PWO PTBN feed has changed its name. Now it will be known simply as Pro Wrestling Only, so it should be easier to find and indeed to say. All of your favourite shows are still here, including Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Kayfabe, Titans of Wrestling, Tag Teams Back Again, This Week in Wrestling, and many, many more, including our full archives of tremendous content. So make sure you subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Only feed today.
Because it's a Lucha City Nights.
Well, I mean, I was kind of griping about it before, but I loved it.
Me too.
I had a great time.
Yeah, really fun episode.
My biggest concern was that it was only going to be 2 personalities, 2 characters.
Yep.
And yet, so many people touched it.
Yeah.
Matt Stryker, obviously. Vampiro, obviously. Melissa Santos, obviously. I should have realized that they would have been involved. I mean, that's an extra 3 personalities right there.
Right there, yeah.
But then we also had Dario. We had Darewolf. We had
newest member of the Worldwide Underground.
That's right.
Ricky Mandel.
But
Jack Evans conspicuous in his absence.
That's true.
I wonder if he's still, or at that time, still was nursing an injury of some sort.
Possible. We also had Son of Havoc, and we had Sexy Star. So all sorts of people.
Menelachi was involved.
Yeah, I suppose. So, you know, it was a nice. It was good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
And you know what? We were concerned about it being the first one back, and I think it was a nice way to start it.
I had forgotten that Johnny Mundo was even the champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
knew this match was happening, but I couldn't remember what the stakes were. And then when it begun and he came out with the belt, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is it." You know, I was complaining about how this felt like low stakes. Mm-hmm. This was a high stakes match.
Yep, a high stakes and a good match. So let's do it. Season 3, episode 20. Recap. All about Mack and Mundo and the all night long. I took note. I really enjoyed how they finished with Johnny Mundo's scared face. He does a good scared face.
He does.
Good chicken shit heel. He had a lot of good chicken shit heel work in this match. So we open up with Metalachi, as we mentioned. This would be their last show, I believe. I think we're getting a new band next week. They come in 5. Mr. Joseph told us that it's in five episode segments. I thought they were looking like Oakland Raiders fans in the tailgates or that you see at the games. The way they were done up today.
At the beginning of this episode, was Sexy Star in the band?
I don't think so.
I would love to go back and see that.
Yeah,
was she planted in there from the beginning?
Oh, we know. What's his face? Darewolf was underneath the ring at the beginning.
Supposedly.
I thought it was funny to see Vampiro checking his notes at the beginning. Did you see that? It's the first time I've noticed him having notes.
As if he writes anything down. As if he writes anything down.
Yeah, it just tells him about where he's going to drop his shits and how many shits are too many. Because remember, he said holy S once.
I know.
That's so bizarre.
I actually thought that overall, Stryker and Vampiro, this episode, I liked it. I was on board.
I can't say I liked it. I didn't hate it. They were there. And it was never really distracting. I thought Stryker got a little too breathy. We talked about that at some point, and a little too many. No, too many of those. Way too many of those. But they never got to the as grating as they can.
They certainly were never embarrassing.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I could show this. Yeah. I could show this to a person and a civilian, and they would never be like I don't think they would be turned off by the commentary.
Yeah, I agree. Johnny Mundo did not get an entrance. I thought,
and neither did the Mack.
Yeah, because I guess they wanted to get right to it, right?
They didn't have enough time. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Why
right
not?
away, when the scoreboard came up. I was like, oh yeah, of course. I don't know why I didn't like. This is essentially an Iron Man match. I don't know why I didn't make that connection. But
what were you thinking it was going to be?
I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought it was just going to be a long ass match.
And you just thought that
I don't know what
it's going to last forever, and somebody's going to get pinned.
Somebody
at the
will
end.
die. Somebody will die. I don't know. Early spit from Johnny Mundo grossed you out a bit.
That was such a great moment.
Yes.
Let me tell you why I love that moment.
Yeah.
Because the camera didn't cut.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There was so much unnecessary camera cutting in this match. Like, they obscured the action so frequently.
Okay. I didn't notice it as much.
Well, I mean, I've been watching a lot of New Japan, maybe, where they never do any of that. But even it was jarring to me how much they cut around they cut around the action.
Maybe it's been a while since you watched Lucha Underground because editing has always been something.
Yeah,
it's always there.
It's true. But the thing I loved about that spitting moment is that Johnny Mundo came back. He shot a loogie across the ring. Mack dodged it, and you could clearly see the whole sequence, right?
Yeah.
He spat, Matt dodged, and that's what makes it more impressive. Because you witness the whole sequence from beginning to end with one cut. And it's just it's like you're there. It makes you feel like you're there. This is a message. If I can just have a moment.
Go ahead.
And just toss this out to anybody out there who is editing wrestling footage. Don't cut during the action. Don't cut during the action. It's not a low budget B movie action film, right? People are cutting around action in the same way that you would cut if it's like bad kung fu. That's not the case. These are highly, highly trained fake fighters.
Yes.
Let them fake fight.
Yeah.
Let them fake fight. They've been training to be witnessed by people live right in front of them with no cuts possible. Let them cook, man. Let them cook.
I agree. I know why you're saying it. Yeah,
drives me crazy.
It's the Kevin Dunn influence and
barf.
Yeah, barf indeed.
Anyways,
so good.
Love the spit. Love the spit.
Yeah. Mack was hitting really hard early. That was great.
I know.
Johnny Mundo had here in this spot had some really fun corner work, and then another really good corner spot later with the just the way he was sliding in and out, kind of thing. But this one kind of finished with like him hitting the end of the world for victory number 1. It was good
the
to see him.
the turnbuckle sort of sequence.
Yeah. And that's when shortly after that you heard Striker's first no, and then there was like, I don't know how to describe it, this kind of like half cannonball that Mack did into the corner where he didn't.
It was a senton. It was like a running senton.
You're right, into the corner. Yeah.
It looked brutal. That's a move I'm sure people have done it, but I had never seen it.
Not into the corner like that. Yeah.
No, me neither. Yeah. I mean, that is such a strong move. The Mack is so talented.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, it's just so unfair that he doesn't have the cachet that other people have. Lucha Underground, when Lucha Underground started, Pentagon Jr. was no one.
Out.
Phoenix.
Well, we don't.
Oh, no, we do. I'll tell you why. Because before Lucha Underground, there was PWG, pre Lucha Underground and post Lucha Underground. You can draw a line right down the middle.
I see what you're saying. And
after Lucha Underground, suddenly all the Lucha Underground guys are being booked. Who was booked before Lucha Underground? The Mack. The Mack was in there before Lucha Underground. Then Lucha Underground starts, and then suddenly it's Pentagon Jr.,
Cage,
Phoenix, Cage,
Mundo,
Mundo, absolutely. And the Mack is suddenly not there. The Mack is one of the most talented dudes around. Well, like he's just, his jobs are being taken away.
There's something that's just not sexy about him to those kinds of diehard fans for whatever reason.
It makes no sense. You know that New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to start this California circuit soon.
Yep.
The Mack needs to be on it.
I like it.
The Mack absolutely needs to be on it.
Who would you book him with?
Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah.
Dude, are you kidding me? Those two are meant for each other. The Mack during this match had him and Mundo did the classic Japanese chop fest. Chop.
Yeah.
Chop.
Build.
Chop. And then how did the Mack put his stamp on it? Instead of a chop, headbutt.
Yeah.
That's a Tomohiro Ishii moment right there. You put those two guys together, they're roughly the same size. I mean, maybe, I don't know about height, but they're certainly the same girth.
Same build, yeah.
And frankly, like, Mack needs to lose some weight. He needs to be put...
piece of trash.
Well, he needs to be put into a...
You're just a fat piece of trash. Now somebody get this fat trash out of here.
He needs to be put into an organization that will provide him with some standards and some...
Kevin Owens makeover.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of, a little bit, Like, the guy can go. The guy can go, but if he maintains, I've talked about this. I feel like I'm transported back 4 months ago.
Yes.
If the Mack does not lose weight, he's not going to be able to last. He's not going to make a career out of this. He's going to be Bad News Brown working as a security. He's going to be Bad News Brown working as a security guard in Deerfoot Mall. Okay.
There's a Calgary reference for everybody. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Okay, you want to talk more about his weight at all, or no? Or
I'm just saying.
I get it.
I think the Mack is hands down, for me personally, the Mack is my favorite wrestler in Lucha Underground. He just is. He is so startlingly acrobatic. The guy. He's got good psychology. He's got good facials.
Great.
I mean, he can do everything except for talk. Yeah. And guess what? In New Japan Pro Wrestling, you don't have to talk. Yeah. You don't have to talk. It's the primo promotion for him. It needs to happen. And he's based out of L.A. This should just be a no-brainer.
Yeah, I hope it'd be nice. I hadn't heard. It's not an argument I'd heard push, but I'm on board.
Well, I know this is what scares me. How come nobody's talking about the Mack? People need to be talking about the Mack. I'm gonna text my friend Rocky Romero.
Good, your friend. You guys talking a lot?
No, we're not talking ever. I'm afraid of him.
I get it. So yeah, the strikes start to really become stiff after this. Early on, that's surprising because they gotta go all night long here. Mac some really nice selling, and then a nice kind of cheat rope grab from Mundo to go up 2-0. I can't remember what the move was that he got him on, but it was because he was on the ropes that he was able to win. So it got some good heat there. Then Mac hits an awesome flip to the outside, as you're talking about. And then Johnny Mundo plays up his chicken shit heel a bit, like he does really well. A really nice sequence on the apron. Do you remember this? Kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely.
That led to a really good counter into a really good power bomb from Mac to make it 2-1. Johnny Mundo really starts selling his neck, and he's playing possum here for the first time.
Oh, this is
not the first. This is not when they were throwing up the X. This is earlier. Okay. So right away he's doing it, but Mac's not for some reason trusted him later, even after he had done this. But that's good. There's that great strike exchange you were talking about into standing C4, and we can hear clearly as Johnny Mundo goes up to the top rope, "You fat turd." I popped for that.
Is it a C4? They call it as a C4, but I thought that move was a Spanish fly.
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as we had talked about, wild corkscrew spot up front onto the outside. From
I love that move. Yeah. I think that is such an easy move for people, for wrestlers these days that are so athletic. That corkscrew move that Johnny Mundo did. Yeah. I mean, he honestly just went up on the top rope and then corkscrewed off the top into the outside.
Yes.
He didn't leap into the air. He fell and corkscrewed. You know what I mean?
But
that's the type of thing that I think so many more wrestlers could do that if they just tried.
I don't know about that. I don't.
Give me a wrestler you think can't do it.
Well, we love Ricochet = Puma, and in their most recent match against Ospreay, when he did Ospreay's little spin kick, it did not look as good as when Ospreay does it. What I'm saying here is, and Ricochet is one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yes.
And can do things that a lot of people cannot do. I don't think I would say maybe 5% of working wrestlers could do what Mundo did there.
I think Rusev could do it.
I do not think Rusev could do that. I would be amazing if he did.
Rusev can do a corkscrew off the top rope.
I don't think you are.
No, he can. And the only reason why you think he can't is because he's never tried. He could do that because from the top rope to the outside, you have so much more distance. Dude. You have so much more distance.
A corkscrew.
Yes, I know what I'm saying. Okay, so what you're talking about, that Ricochet moment. Okay, Travis is talking about the latest Ricochet versus Ospreay in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament,
which is
in
incredible.
New Japan, which is a fantastic match that everybody should watch. In that match, Ricochet attempts Will Ospreay's corkscrew kick, and he hits it. It's not perfect,
but it's not. It's nowhere near as crisp as gorgeous as Ospreay's.
Yeah, agreed. But here's the difference. So, with the Ospreay corkscrew kick, the rotation has to be perfect because you have to land with the kick coming down, and you have to aim it perfectly so it's coming down in the right place.
Ospreay only hits it about 50% of the time.
Exactly. But when you're corkscrewing off the top rope into the outside, just into a body who's going to catch you, then you just have to be there and you just have to collect it. Right, you just have to aim at the body and hope that the person who you're hitting can collect you in the right way.
I think you're overestimating how easy it is to do a corkscrew. Anybody.
It's just twist your body, man. Twist your body.
And I think that takes a lot of training, and I don't think anybody can do it.
All these wrestlers are trained, Travis.
But how much? So let's 50% do high spots of working wrestlers.
Sure.
Of that 50%, I think corkscrews are done by maybe 10. I think.
But is that because of talent? Is that because they cannot achieve it, or is that because of lack of creativity?
There are so many indie wrestlers who do not lack for creativity and are trying everything under the sun.
I think more people can do corkscrews.
Let's do a corkscrew.
I believe, dude. I believe that Rusev can do a corkscrew.
Just that image.
I believe
Mark Henry.
No. Come on. Mark Henry cannot do a corkscrew. Let's get real.
Of course he can't.
He can't. Rusev can do a corkscrew. I'll tell you who else can do a corkscrew.
Who?
Okay. Roman Reigns can do a corkscrew.
That I could. It's
Thank
possible.
you.
Yeah. I think it's possible.
Okay. I think that
we know Charlotte Flair can do one. She does a really nice one every once in a while.
There you go.
Every once in a while, but that is the only female wrestler on the WWE roster who can do it. And that's not saying a ton.
I'm sure the other ones can. I'm sure there's plenty of female wrestlers who can. They're just not trying. I mean, it's a scary thing to do. You got to get them down to the pool and get them shooting off the diving board.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Some more corkscrews.
Yeah. King Kong Bundy. He can do a corkscrew.
I'm just trying to imagine all the best corkscrews there can be.
Yeah.
Virgil. Jerry Lawler.
Oh, God.
Now.
Totally. Anyway.
That's hilarious.
Corkscrews. Guys, more corkscrews.
That's the message.
This is the message. More corkscrews.
I always got room for a you always got room for a half crab?
I do.
A quick non sequitur. I watched the entire Bruno Sammartino Spiros Arion feud from 1975.
Why are you watching
and there's because that's part of a PTN project. We're trying to figure out the greatest WWE wrestlers of all time. And there's the last is a Greek death match, the third match, because which we like.
Greek.
What
makes it
mean?
Greek?
It just they had to end with a submission, and Bruno does it with a half crab. That series of matches is awesome. I highly recommend them. Early Bruno, man, is incredible. Very people. He's fallen out of favor among some whatever historians and stuff, but going back and you watch, he is that's when they were trying out the templates for like angles, and he was the first guy to kind of I don't know.
Is he still alive?
Yes. Yeah. He did he did a Legends with JBL a while back. That's good, really good. His story is amazing, and the crowds were so hot for him. Yeah.
I could see him doing a little cameo in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, great, yeah. We're still at what, 2? We had from this season, Honky Tonk Man was One Giant Key. That was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, One Giant Key
that sounds
and
One Giant Key
and Chavo Classic.
Chavo Classic and the Rick the Model Martel's
arrogance.
If you want to call that.
So anyways, after this corkscrew, Johnny starts selling the ankle injury, and they really start to sell it as a legit injury. The X symbol comes up. I thought this was an interesting touch, but I never once believed that it was a real injury.
Oh, I didn't believe it was a real injury, but I did for a moment think, oh, maybe they're going to call the match,
and
then the episode will continue in a different way.
No, I thought because he was playing possum earlier, and that's good psychology, to make you think this is a guy who does this sort of thing. Matt goes for a hit handshake kind of thing, like he's kind of like
I'm not really sure. I don't even know if it was a handshake,
or it's just kind of like, dude, bro. Like I guess it was kind of to make us like think, oh, this is they're kind of breaking kayfabe here.
I loved the way they played this whole thing. It's like the Mac was like angry, but he was going in to test the situation. Like, is this legit? What the fuck? Like, is this up? Is this down? What's going on? And then he kind of finally was like, oh, all right, I guess this is it. I can't believe it. I'm disappointed.
And
but
just as he turns his back, the kip up into a beautiful crotch shot.
Yeah.
And a hard DDT onto the stretcher and in the ring there. Makes it 3-1 Johnny Mundo, and he gets up and starts doing jumping jacks.
That was amazing.
And this is what the one S-bomb that Vampiro dropped that I really enjoyed. He's like, that is straight up bullshit. So this got some really good heat going and really helped the match and kicked it into the next gear.
Got to give props to the crowd.
Yeah.
The Temple believers in this episode were on fire for this match.
Yeah, I agree.
On fire.
I agree. Moves to the top of the stairs with the stretcher, and then the hilarious stair spot where he finally straps him in and slides him down toboggan style, and Johnny Mundo has to kind of sell like that the impact was tough, even though you can tell it's kind of like shoom in for a soft little landing.
Yeah. It's almost as if they didn't practice it, or who knows. But I appreciated it.
Yeah,
and I like that he was stuck in there.
Yes, yeah,
he couldn't get out.
Fighting to get out of it, like that was really funny stuff. Where he's still tied up.
They did cut away, so we never got to see Mac put him in the stretcher. Because it might have been awkward.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
And
how you work these clips, man? So many clips and straps.
Yeah,
I got females and females and males. They're just not clicking.
That's right. And Mundo is kind of like grabbing a strap and like throwing it over his own body.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure it was like that.
Yeah.
So that was good. You got to keep things moving.
Yeah.
I have written down here in my notes. I can remember one of the Vamp's metaphors in this were weird. Remember he said this guy's got hands like garbage cans. Like what? How is that? And then
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yes, I did
hands like garbage cans. It rhymes.
I guess.
It sounds like crunch.
I guess.
Full of shit.
And then he.
I mean,
And then but he had another weird metaphor later. I can't remember what it was. Anyway,
he threw his body in there like a porpoise.
A porpoise.
I think he legitimately meant corpse.
Porpoise.
For some reason he said porpoise.
Porpoise. Maybe he was hanging out at the beach and saw something that.
It was so weird.
Anyways, Mac hits a stunner out of nowhere to make it 3-2. And the crowd starts chanting "Return of the Mack." I love that. Johnny Mundo hides under the mat here, and this was good where he sends out a decoy that we find out is PJ Black, which is great.
Had me fooled.
Yeah,
completely fooled me.
It's a great touch, and then we see some just deadly kendo sticks to the Mack. And Son of Havoc with a great entrance at the top, holding up the two kendo sticks with the smokes behind him. Son of Havoc goes knocking on Dario Cueto's door, and Dario
demanding beers.
Yeah, well, first you're like, I have a bottle of water. Will that do? I see. And the crowd already knows. This is great. Yeah, you're right. The crowd was helping to push this. Get them beer was the chant, and the crowd popped big for the beer spot to wake him up as he springs to life. It's silly, but this is fun.
Yeah. The amount of beer that was poured in the Mac's head, I was just like, I don't know. This is weird.
Yeah,
this is a little weird. He came up just like drenched
but
in beer.
It's his I think they said it like Popeye's spinach. It worked. I liked it anyways. Back to the kendo sticks, and there's just one that was like this really strategically placed right to the taint of Johnny Mundo. The Mac gets overpowered after setting up the tables. Johnny Mundo grabs the mic and gets the band to play some hilarious
victory music.
His laughter.
He's laughing. Yeah, that was such a good moment, man.
I loved it.
Mundo is just he's just so committed.
Yeah.
He's so confident. In his mind, there's no way he can make a mistake. He's just so in the moment, in the role.
Yeah.
So just completely has faith in the psychology of what he is doing. And it works. It works so much. Yeah. Like, can you imagine being there and him grabbing the mic and be like, play a victory song?
Hey, come on.
Laughing. Oh, God.
Yeah, and going, like borderline racist.
What a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Great stuff. But then the maraca player, surprise, his sexy star, hits a high spot off the top.
That happened so quickly. I was shocked. I was aghast.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what you think, because I felt like out of nowhere somebody was just jumping off the roof. Is that?
I thought it was Jack Evans originally, like he had turned on them. That's what I thought.
Okay. I mean, that was if you think about Sexy Star doing that,
yeah.
We got to give props for Sexy Star. That's a huge dive by her. We've never seen her do anything that dangerous.
But she probably should have done a corkscrew, right?
Come on, be reasonable.
Yes.
But yes, Sexy Stars should be doing corkscrews. But not off that. I mean, come on, you want to be safe. But there was like, I know that if it was me, I would have been like, make sure that we, tease that they're like, make sure we get a clean shot of like the band and the maraca player, and then the maraca player throws down the maracas and then runs over, and then we cut from below, and then she flies off. But it was all just a steady shot from below, and it just didn't make any sense in my mind until it was over. Yeah. And I don't know which is better. So I'm curious to know, like, when it happened, were you shocked? Did you know?
Yes. It was a great spot. I think you shouldn't have, like, I think what you're saying could have worked too. Maybe show some apprehension on the faces of all the band members. Like, why are we doing this? This guy's such a jerk. And then finally, you see her throw down the maracas. That might work. Something like that. But it was great the way it was. I liked it. It
just was so startling to me. I didn't understand.
But that's what they were going for. I think they wanted confusion. And
then
it's revealed. Oh, it's Sexy Star.
Corkscrew off the top, though, would have been nice.
And then so finally,
she can definitely do a corkscrew. But okay,
I don't think so.
Okay, forget about the corkscrew talk. It's weird because we're coming and we've taken such a long break. But you have to think back, Trav, prior to this episode, we've had a lot of discussion about Sexy Star and her ability.
Oh, her abilities. Yes.
That she just did a plancha off of like 20 feet in the air. Into Johnny Mundo. Yep. Like, we have to stop for a moment and give her some props for that, because that's unlike anything we've ever seen her do.
Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen her do anything that extreme.
Nothing even in terms of like a high spot, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of a high spot, I mean that's a brave.
It was a brave
thing to do, and a lot of wrestlers, period, would not be able to do something like that.
Yeah. I've always liked her energy and her whatever, her gusto, her spunk, and this was like this worked with it. And then we see that crazy kind of pile driver slam spot through the tables.
By the
Mack onto Mundo to tie it up at 3-3.
That was amazing.
And a ladder is removed at the 5-minute mark. Thought that was a really good touch. It's like, here we are getting into the home stretch. This one, Striker's getting really breathy. Vampiro mentions the belly button scar. Thought that was interesting. Like, it's like, if you're gonna work that, there could be some internal injuries. Somebody goes. Johnny goes for another end of the world and misses, but hits the ladder. Matt sets up the ladder for what looks like it's going to be another spot onto the table. Ricky Mandel comes in, looking great. This is good for him. You don't think so?
Oh no, it's fine. It's just that this is one of those weird moments because of the break.
Yes.
Like, Ricky Mandel was not really an established character ever before this.
No.
And this was sort of his solidifying moment, a turn for Ricky Mandel. And so it was a little odd that it had to happen in this like coming back episode, because I just feel like a lot of people won't know who he was or forget like all the nuances of his character. Remember he picked up those pictures and he was like, "Oh, this is cool." And
I wonder if that's ever going to turn into anything.
I don't think so.
Weirdest.
Man. Yeah,
the weirdest. Just a red herring out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm all for red herrings for the sake of red herrings, but I don't think that was a red herring.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And this turns into a big schmoz with everybody out there. It was great. It was all like, you could tell we're building to a big finish, and then finally an awesome splash off of the ladder onto the table.
Incredible moment.
Yeah,
I thought when that happened, I was like, the Mack is going to be the new champion. The Mack is the new champion. Yeah. In my mind, I was like, I was reeling. I was like, oh my god, this opens up so many things of what's going to happen next. I have no idea. I never thought this could be possible.
I don't think I ever got to that spot. I could tell the time was going to run out. I don't think Mack will ever be the champion. Sorry, Max. I just don't. It just looks better on Mundo. It looks better on him. It does. Looks great on him.
I don't care what looks good. I care what I want.
I know. You sound like every fucking smart mark out there, man. Christ. A great, but it was a great finish. Crowd was super hot.
Yeah.
I'm fine that it ended this way. The crowd was pissed off.
It ended what way?
With him not be able to get the pin just a second short. Yeah. Marty Elias could have sped up that count, bro, but no, he's by the book. That's why he's the senior official, Matt. Mack
crowd was
crying.
Mack was crying. The Mack was crying, and the crowd was furious.
Yeah.
Furious.
Bullshit. And enter Dario Cueto. Hold on. I'm at a cafe. That's right. And we find out next week it will continue. But this was, as you said, a lot of fun. I went 3.5 on it, especially because it really picked up. It had a great, like I said, the psychology of little things like Mundo kind of playing possum, and then it him doing it again to his advantage both times. Had a little bit of everything and nothing really superfluous.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think
tight.
for the first time in a long time, you're deadly accurate with your stars. With your star count.
Good.
3.5. Next episode, because this match I hope will just pick up immediately.
Do you think they'll go full 45?
This is what I would hope.
Have you looked? Do we have a write-up?
Oh, I haven't. I forgot that was even a thing that we did. I'll try to find it. But what I would like to see is the next episode pick up directly from where we left off and have it go the whole 45 minutes
That would be
again.
ambitious. That'd be ambitious.
It would be. And it would be a lot to ask of the performers to be like, hey, do another 45 minutes and be interesting.
It would, and it would have to be completely different.
Yeah. I mean, the first 15 minutes could be the same, but
I can see it being just a quick screw job on the Mack right away, where it's just like all this work for nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay, here we go. This is the episode. This is already sounding good.
Okay. Episode 21.
Episode 21, titled "Sudden Death."
Nice.
This is the crux of the episode.
Yeah.
The Lucha Underground Championship is defended. Dario makes an announcement. Prince Puma. That's all it says.
Prince Puma.
Yeah. So it could literally be the whole episode, and then with maybe like 5 minutes with just like a vignette, an end credit vignette.
Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think they will.
It would be hard to do.
Yep.
But it would be the right thing.
I mean, you've got moving parts, man. You got to get this show, get things going, moving along here. I mean, we're loving.
There's not. This is 21 episodes. We got 19 episodes of this. It doesn't have to be anything.
I guess so.
We could easily
I guess
do
so.
it.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it'll go maybe another 15 minutes tops. I think
that'd be fine. That'd be fine with me.
But honestly, for me, I am leaning towards. I think it's going to be more of like a quick.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. Is like one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Either do the whole thing again, and then have a winner at the very end, or just something quick and easy. Let's move on.
And do you think this next episode is going to start right from where we left off?
No, it's not like it'll be like in situ, but it will. But they will.
He did say
they should absolutely begin with it. They'd be fools not to. Yeah.
Cool. I hope they're like selling injuries and stuff. Something like that.
Guys, just as a PSA, there's a lot of spoilers out there on the internet about Lucha Underground for the next 19 episodes. Do yourself a favor. If you're listening to this, you likely care about the show. And so do not look up even episode titles of the next 19 because it's going to it might spoil what's coming ahead.
Melissa Santos murdered.
Oh jeez.
32. What? Whoa.
Yeah. Trev, how can people find us on social media?
You can find us on Twitter at Lucha_Afterground. Just look up Lucha Afterground on Twitter. On the Place to Be Nation network. Follow us on iTunes, or just follow Place to Be Nation on iTunes. PTBN Wrestling network. Beyond that, I think that's about it. I think that's all we've got. I do want to do a quick plug for one of the newest members of Place to Be Nation family. Our greetings from Allentown. It is awesome. It's right down my street. And it's a good, as I said, as I'm watching the old WWE footage and WWF and WWF footage, this guy is he's kind of taken from where the Titans left off. He said the Titans were an inspiration, and he does it all by himself. That's really impressive. And the way he cuts in promos and things like this, it's good. It's really, really great stuff. I would definitely recommend that.
Okay, there you go. What do you remember his name? First name?
I do not.
Yeah, it's hard if it's only one guy.
Yeah, but it's on the feed now. If you follow us, it'll be, or if you subscribe to the.
Welcome to Allentown.
Greetings from Allentown.
Greetings from Allentown. Yeah. I also listened to Jeff Learns Wrestling recently.
What do you think?
Well, I don't want to cause controversy here. But I feel like it's a lot like my, when you weren't around.
Yeah.
For last season.
That's
Lucha
right.
Underground.
When you had
I would bring in some people who would never watch wrestling, and I'd be like, hey, why don't you watch this episode of Lucha Afterground?
That's true.
And then let's talk about what that's like.
That's true.
And I do feel...
But there's a deeper connection here. These guys are lifelong friends.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And it's great. It's really good. Don't act like
it is. Oh, I'm not acting like it's bad. I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good. Anyways,
but you were first to the party.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm saying that maybe you owe me some money. Okay. Anyways,
happy to be back.
Thanks
for listening, guys. Tell others. Tell your friends.
Another 5 months from here on out.
Oh my God, bro! He could have killed her.
That's my wife.
I'm rejuvenated. I don't know about you.
All right.
We'll be here.
Thank you. I can't even remember how we sign off. We'll be here next week.
The question is, will you join us?